Spiš is a region in northeastern Slovakia, with a very small area in southeastern Poland. Spiš is an informal designation of the territory, but it is also the name of one of the 21 official tourism regions of Slovakia. The region is not an administrative division in its own right, but between the late 11th century and 1918 it was an administrative county of the Kingdom of Hungary. Geography. The region is situated between the High Tatras and the Dunajec River in the north, the springs of the Vah River in the west, the Slovenské Rudo Hory Mountains and Nelek River in the south, and a line running from the town of Stará Ľubovná via the Branisko Mountain to the town of Margikany in the east. The core of the Spiš region is formed by the basins of the rivers Hornad and Poprad and the High Tatra Mountains. Throughout its history, the territory has been characterized by a large percentage of forests. In the late 19th century, as much as 42.2% of Spiš was forest. History. Early history. The history of the region until 1918 is given in more detail at Spiš County. Traces of settlement in the Neanderthal era have been found in remains at Ganovska and Besenova. The territory of Spiš was later populated first by Celts. It belonged to the state of Great Moravia and after its dissolution became part of Poland. The southern part of the territory was conquered by the Kingdom of Hungary at the end of the 11th century, when the border of the kingdom ended near the modern town of Kežmarok. The royal county of Spiš was created in the second half of the 12th century. In the 1250s the border of the Kingdom of Hungary shifted to the north to Poland, and in 1260 even further to the north. The northeastern region around Kniecna and Stará Ľubovná, the so-called Districtus Podoliensis, was incorporated only in the 1290s. The northern border of the county stabilized in the early 14th century. Around 1300, the royal county became a noble county. Many of the towns of Spiš developed from German colonization. The German settlers had been invited to the territory from the mid-12th century onwards. The settlements founded by them in southern Spiš were mainly mining settlements. Consequently, until World War II, Spiš had a large German population who spoke Zipsa German. Now, the only Zipsa-speaking town is Śmielnica. Many smaller settlements were populated by settlers from Poland. In 1412, under the Treaty of Lubola, 16 towns, 2 castles and a number of villages in Spiš were pawned to Poland by Sigismund of Luxembourg to finance his wars with the Republic of Venice in Dalmatia. Among the towns that for 360 years belonged to Poland were Stará Ľubovná, Podolinik, Spišská Sobota, Poprad and Spišská Nová Ves. In 1772 all were annexed by Austria as a part of the partitions of Poland. In 1868, 21 Spiš settlements sent their demands, the Spiš Petition, to the Diet of the Kingdom of Hungary, requesting special status for Slovaks within the kingdom. Spiš after the creation of Czechoslovakia. In 1918, the county became part of newly formed Czechoslovakia, a tiny part of the territory, amounting to 195 square kilometers after an internal border dispute had been confirmed to be part of Galicia as early as 1902. After World War I, northern Spiš was united with Poland and became the subject of a long-running border dispute between Poland and Czechoslovakia. In 1923 Slovak Spiš was divided between the newly formed Sub-Tatra County and Košice County. In 1928 to 1939 and 1945 to 1948 it was part of the newly created Slovak land. During World War II, when Czechoslovakia was divided, Spiš was part of independent Slovakia, and formed the eastern part of Tatra County from 1940 to 1945. Slovakia joined the Axis, and the Polish part of Spiš was transferred to Slovakia. During the war, all the Jews of the area were deported or murdered. When Soviet forces approached from the east at the end of 1944, most of the Volksdeutsche in Spiš fled westward. Between mid-November 1944 and the 21st of January 1945, the property was confiscated after the war. After World War II, the pre-war borders of Spiš were restored, with the most of the county going to Czechoslovakia, and a small part to Poland. In 1948, it became part of the newly created Košice region and Prešov region, whose borders, however, were completely different from those of the present-day regions of the same name. From July 1960, it became part of the newly created Eastern Slovak region, which ceased to exist in September 1990. In 1993, Czechoslovakia was split and Spiš became part of Slovakia. Nationalities. According to censuses carried out in the Kingdom of Hungary in 1869, the population of Spiš County comprised the following nationalities: Slovaks 50.4%, Germans 35%, Ruthenians, Ukrainians 13.8% and 0.7% Magyars. The current ethnic composition of the region, however, is much different. Is mentioned above, many Jews and Volksdeutsche were removed or left during World War II. Present-day Spiš has a number of Romani settlements, and Romani are a substantial minority there. There are also 40,000–48,000 Gorals. Although a negligible number in census terms, they are a distinctive minority with their own culture and speak a dialect of Polish, especially elders. They consider themselves as Slovaks and, in present, speak mostly Slovak language. Official Slovak 2011 census reported only 3,084 Poles living in Slovakia. Economy. Historically, economic activity in the region has been based principally on agriculture and forestry, which explains why Spiš belongs to the relatively poor regions of Slovakia. Yet tourism has been helping substantially the local economy since the late 19th century, with sanatoria and winter sports resorts built in the High Tatras and the Low Tatras. The areas of natural beauty such as the Slovak Paradise in the southwest and the Pieniny National Park at the Slovak-Polish border, and also the region's many historical sites like Spiš Castle and nearby located Spiše Podrady, Spišská Kapitula, Zara, and the town of Livoka, Kežmarok, and Stará Ľubovná Castle. The tourism industry has developed rapidly in Spiš, aided by the introduction of regular flights to Poprad Airport and improving rail and road connections. Spiš today. Spiš today is one of Slovakia's 21 tourist regions. It no longer, however, represents, as did its predecessor, an administrative region. Since 1996, Spiš has been divided between the modern Košice region and Prešov region and is covered approximately by the following 6 administrative districts: Poprad, Kežmarok, Stará Ľubovná, Spišská Nová Ves, Livoka and Jelnica, except for the eastern half of the Stará Ľubovná district that had been within Sarys County and 3 villages of the Poprad district. The present population of the Spiš region is about 320,000. Almost half the population lives in towns, the largest of which are Poprad, Spišská Nová Ves and Kežmarok.